Purpose of this video is just to give you a few more hints in drawing and annotating for your chloroplast and mitochondrion illustrations assignment. We already started with a very simple picture or diagram of a chloroplast, where you can see we have the two membranes on the outside, and then we've begun to draw the stacks of thylakoids on the inside. And so one of the first things that we probably want to label would be the thylakoids and the fluidy substance that surrounds them, which is called the stroma. Make sure when you are doing your illustrations that you use a ruler. I will be freehanding these simply because the touch screen makes it challenging to use a ruler. So I'm going to label this as the stroma, and I will label one of these as a thylakoid. And then my next task is to begin annotating, and it will be very easy to say the thylakoid is where we have the light-dependent reactions and the stroma is where we have the light-independent reactions, and those would be good starts, but because we want to be really learning the process of photosynthesis, we should add more details than that. So for the thylakoid, I'm going to say that it is the light-dependent reactions, but then I'm also going to say that they contain chlorophyll, which captures light energy to split water molecules and generate ATP and NADPH. For the stroma, I'm going to say the light independent reactions. But then I'm also going to say contains enzymes for the Calvin cycle, which are the light independent reactions. So there I've added a little bit more detail to my annotations than just saying light dependent reactions and light independent reactions. Once we've completed the chloroplast diagram, and this would not be complete yet, there are plenty more things to label and annotate, then the second part of this activity was to draw an enlarged version of a thylakoid membrane system. And so here you can see an illustration that you could use. You could choose to draw something like this, or you could draw just one segment of this membrane and put all of the structures on it. Remember that I said do not spend lots and lots of time drawing all the phospholipids. So to represent the two layers of phospholipids, I think that I would draw the thylakoid, and then draw a second layer here to represent the fact that this is a bilayer of phospholipids. And then within this structure, I would start drawing the things that I see here. So the two photosystems would be a good thing to include. Photosystem 2 with the reaction center. Photosystem 1 with the reaction center, and we probably want to put some chlorophyll molecules and things in there. Then I would want to draw some structures in the middle here that could be used to represent the electron transport chain. Likewise over here I would want some electron transport chain. Some point in time I would definitely want to put my ATP synthase enzyme and show the production of ATP. This is just a very rough sketch to get started, but it gives you the idea of the type of thing that you could use for drawing your thylakoid enlargement. You could also, as I said, choose to just draw one kind of portion of the membrane. Again, you could show the bilayer of phospholipids like this, and then start putting the structures along there if you would rather do that than draw an entire thylakoid enlargement. The next part of this assignment involves drawing a mitochondrion. One of the mistakes that students often make with a mitochondrion is they'll draw the outer membrane, and then for the inner membrane they just draw a line like this. You want to be very careful that you don't do it like that. You want to make sure that you draw it the way that is shown below, with the inner membrane being continuous, folding in to create lots of surface area, and also folding in to create spaces in between the two membranes, which will be very important in the process of cellular respiration. And then finally, just as you did with the chloroplast, you will want to draw an enlargement of that inner membrane system with the electron transport chain, and you can see a picture of this represented here. Once again, I would not spend a lot of time drawing all the phospholipids. We did that with the cell membrane. I would draw the two layers of the phospholipids, and then I would begin putting in the structures of the electron transport chain. And you can represent these similar to the way they are in this diagram, or if you find another diagram that you like better, you're welcome to use that also. And somewhere in here you definitely need to make sure that you show the ATP synthase enzyme. And I'm sure your illustrations will end up looking much neater than mine do. Much easier to do it on paper than it is to do on the computer screen. Hopefully this was helpful to you in thinking about how to go about doing your diagrams.